The year is 1961 and the Tupolev 114 has entered service. But it isn't just a normal turboprop passenger aircraft. Why? Because this four-engine turboprop aircraft could reach speeds of nearly 470 knots, which is faster than some modern-day jets. This is the story of the Tupolev 114, the turboprop that went as fast as a jet. In the 1950s, aviation technology was growing with aircraft such as the Boeing 707, the Douglas DC-8, and others. But in the Soviet Union, not so much. They only had small aircraft such as the IL-14, which was a problem for the Soviet Union, which wanted to compete with Western aviation. So the solution? To convert a bomber into an airliner. The Soviet Union already had a very successful long-range aircraft, the Tupolev Tu-95 strategic bomber. It was efficient, had huge fuel capacity, higher cruising speed, and more. Engineers changed the Tupolev 95 in many ways. The bomber's narrow body was replaced with a wider cabin. It could carry around 170 passengers depending on configuration. They installed larger windows, a pressurized cabin, and it had unusual features like a lower deck kitchen and sleeping compartments on some versions. The result was two planes, the Tupolev 116, which had a higher wing, and the Tupolev 114, which had a bigger fuselage and the wings were lower. The first Tupolev 116 entered service in 1958, and the first Tupolev 114 entered service in 1961. There were 32 Tupolev 114 aircraft built between 1958 and 1965, but only two Tupolev 116 aircraft were ever built. Even though the Tupolev 114 and the Tupolev 116 were amazing Soviet airliners, they had huge problems. The biggest complaint was the NK-12 engines and massive contra-rotating propellers, because they produced too much noise. Another complaint was that the Tupolev 114 and the Tupolev 116 had lots of complexity when it came to maintenance, making it more expensive to maintain. Despite these flaws, the Tupolev 114 was a reliable aircraft that would go to carry 6 million passengers. But by the mid-1960s, airports were filled with long-range jets, not turboprops, and the Soviets' only long-range airliner was becoming outdated. So, in 1967, a Soviet jet airliner entered service. The Tupolev 114 was quickly moved from international routes and was kept flying mainly inside the Soviet Union. The Tupolev 114 served for Aeroflot for 16 years, until they were finally retired from civilian service in 1977.